My name is Heather, and today I'm going to show you how to create a trailer for your children's book in Canva. We all know it's hard to sell children's books online, so it can be a big help if you have a trailer for your children's book. So I'm going to show you how to create one in Canva. I'm going to be using Canva Pro for this. You can use the free version of Canva, but it is going to have less features. If you do decide to upgrade to Canva Pro, I have an affiliate link in the description of this video, and it would really help me out if you would use that. I'm on the Canva homepage, and I'm going to start by clicking on Video. And I'm going to do a vertical video, so I'm going to pick mobile video because I find that the vertical videos do a lot better on social media. So I'm going to click that one. And now we're in the video editing part of Canva. So you have this part down here, which is the timeline, and you can make it bigger or smaller. And then you can also zoom in or out on your video. So you want to make sure that you're zoomed out enough so you see the whole thing, because if you're zoomed in too much, then it's going to be cut off. And then you can also click on this so that you can zoom in or out on the timeline. So that way you can kind of edit the timing with more precision, because as you can see, you have like 2 seconds, 4 seconds, and then if you zoom out, this little part right here is 10 seconds and then 20 seconds. So that can be really helpful. The way I'm going to do my trailer is that I'm going to have a voiceover for it instead of just words coming up on the screen, because I just like that kind of book trailer better. I'm going to start by just kind of mapping out what the different parts of my trailer are going to be. So I'm going to start on the first page, and I'm going to click on notes here, and I'm going to write what I want my voiceover to be. So I'm going to start out by saying, deep in the forest, in a cozy den, lives a platypus named Platy. And then I'm going to add a new page. And on this one, I will say, Platy likes to sit alone and read his book by the fire. Oh, actually, in his favorite chair. I already know I'm going to have my illustration of Platy in his chair reading his book by the fire. And then I'll add another one. This one will say, his friends want him to come play outside. And then I'll add another one that says, will he ever be ready to come out and play? Read the book to find out. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to have it pretty short. And I'll start with my first one, which is deep in the forest in a cozy den. I've uploaded some of the art from my book here, and I'm going to grab the one that is his house. And I'm going to make this as big as the page. And then I'm going to animate it. And I want it to kind of pan in, like as if it were a movie and the camera was kind of panning over the scene. So I'm going to look at these different animations, and you can mouse over it to preview them. They do have a pan one here, but it pans so short, it doesn't move very far. So let's see what else they have. This one, Drift, really moves a lot, and I like that. It looks like there's a camera panning over it. But I did want it to go the other way because I want the words Platy's house to kind of be revealing instead of going away. So if I go this way, then you can kind of read it. Now, the other thing is that if I go back to the beginning and play, you can see that there's some white here. So I'm just going to move this further over because that just means I didn't give it enough room in the beginning. So that's better. Oh, and by the way, you can use the space bar as a shortcut to play and stop the timeline. So that can really help your workflow when you're working on this. Now I also want Platy to kind of pop up when I'm saying that Platy lives here. So I'm going to go to Uploads. I have this illustration of him, and I want to take him out of this so it's just him. So I'm going to use Magic Grab. But if you have your characters as actual separate elements, then it's going to be a lot easier just to use that. But since he's kind of all in one scene, I drew it all as one thing, then I'm going to need to extract him from it. So I'm going to go to Edit, and I'll go to Magic Grab, and then I have it on Click, and I'm just going to click on him, and you can see the purple outline around him, and you can actually see that it's missing the tail. So I'm going to also click on the tail, and then I'll click Grab. So now he's cut out of the scene, so I'll just take the background and delete it. And then I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. I think I want him to kind of pop up. So like he's hiding down here and maybe he peeks up and he's like kind of shy. And then he like goes back down and then he comes up. So I'm going to start him down here. And I'm going to go to Animate. And I'm going to click on Create an Animation. So now I can just select him and drag him around, but I have to do it exactly how I want him to be, like the perfect timing and everything. So I'm going to grab him and I'm going to have him kind of peek up and then kind of go back down and then he'll come up. I think that's super cute. So then I'm going to click Done. I don't want him to come out right away though. So I'm going to click on Platy and then you can see it comes up here in the timeline. And I'm going to grab the edge here and pull it over. And then that way he's not going to start until over here. So let's drag the playhead up here and then play it again. That's pretty good. I can maybe even make it a little longer. So if I want to extend the length of that scene, I can just grab this part right here and I'll pull it out. And then I can always kind of perfect it once I record the voiceover. Now the next thing is that I want to add some ambiance to this. So I want to have some background noise, and you can do either music or you can do sound effects, or you could do both. Since this is outside and it's like in the forest, I want to have some really pretty forest sounds like birds chirping or something like that. So I'm going to go on this left menu here and I'm going to scroll down to audio and I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to search for forest. And we have all these different things. So I'm going to try see what these sound like. Ooh, this one has a river flowing and I have water here, so that might be good. I don't really hear the water though. Actually, I'm going to search for river. That's really cool. I think I like this one, so I'm going to click on it and then it'll just drop it in here, and I'm going to move it to the left so that it starts at the beginning of my trailer. But I do also want to add birds. I think birds would be cute. So let's see some of these. This one's really pretty, so I'm going to click on that one. And then I'm going to move that to the beginning. And let's see how that sounds. I think that's cute, but I think the water is a little loud, so I'm just going to click on the sound right here, and I'm going to go up here and click on the volume, and I'll just bring that down a little bit. I'm going to stick with that, and then for my next page, let's see what I have for the notes again. Platy likes to sit alone in his favorite chair and read his book by the fire. So for this one, I'm going to have him in his chair. So I want the music to stop right here. So I'm just going to go up here to split audio. And then that just cut it. So now I can just grab the second half and I'll just delete it. And I'm going to do the same thing with the birds. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to have the playhead right here. And then I'm going to split audio. And then I can just delete this second part. So I'll just select it and press delete. And now I can drop in the image for my second page, which is going to be Platy in his chair reading his book by the fire. So I'm going to make sure I have this slide selected, and then I'm going to go to Uploads, and I'll select my artwork of Platy in his chair. And then I'm going to make it as big as the page. And remember, you want to make sure that you can see the whole animation. So I'm going to click on this zoom button here. So I'm zooming the page and I'm going to make it smaller. So now I can see the whole thing. And you can see that I did add some yellow here and along the edge of him because that's light coming from the fire. So I think it would be neat to kind of have some glowing here, and also for the sound effect to have the crackling of the fire. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go down to audio and I'll search for fire. This one sounds really nice, like a fireplace. So I'm going to click on that, and that dropped it in. And I'll just move it to the beginning. And I can make it shorter too so that it just lasts the length of the page. So we can preview this. That's nice, but I do think we need a transition between the two pages. And the difference in the background sound is kind of abrupt. So I'm going to click on the background sound and I'm going to do fade, and I'm going to fade it out. And this is just how long it takes for it to fade out. And then I'll select the one under it and I'll fade that out as well. And then we can have the fire crackle fade in. And then we can also add a transition between these two slides. So if I click right between them, then you'll see you can do add a transition if you click on these little arrows here. So I'll click that. And there are all these different transitions. I don't really like the super fancy animated ones. I like to just stick with something simple. So I'm just going to do dissolve. And let's see how this looks now. I'll start it about here. I think that works pretty good, but I do also want to add some glow from the fireplace. So I'm going to go to Elements, and I'm going to go down to Video. And then I'm going to search in here for glow, or we can do yellow glow. And I don't think these are quite what I'm looking for. I kind of just want some very light bursts of yellow glow. So I'm going to search in the graphics and I'm going to do yellow glow. So this is more like what I'm thinking. I'm going to make it really big so that it doesn't look so like specific in a spot, because I want it to be more of like a big glow. So you know how like when fire is crackling and there will be like glow here and then glow here, and it's kind of like keeps changing. I'm going to put this here and I'm going to animate it so that it kind of fades in. Okay, so I think fade is the right one here. So I'm going to click that. And then I'm going to copy it. So I'm just going to hold down Alt and drag it. And I'll have one down here. Except that this one, I want it to come at a different time. So I'm going to click on this one and I'll come down here to the timeline, and I'm just going to drag this over so it kind of takes a while to show up. And if I click on the one above it, maybe I want that one to show up like here. And now I can take this and I'll copy this one. And I want it all to be coming from the right side though, because that's where the fire is. So I'll just kind of have it in different spots on the right side. And I'm going to pull this one over. And then I'll move one down here. And then I'll pull this one over. Oh, but I also want them to go away. So I have them all fading in here. So now I just want them to only be there for a short while, since that's kind of, you know, how the fire usually works. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Okay, I think that looks really cool. So I'm going to do that, and then when I record my voiceover, I might need more or less time and I can adjust it then. But that'll do for now. For this scene, it says his friends want him to come play outside. So I am going to go to my uploads, and I have this picture here of his turtle friend. I'll just cut the text off of it, and I'll make this bigger so it fills the page. And he can kind of be coming in like this. So I think I can do that same animation I did in the beginning. Let's go to animation. It was drift. So I'm going to pick that. But I want him to drift the other way. As you can see, just like the other one before, there's white in the beginning. So I'm actually going to drag him over more. Now let's play him. Let's find some kind of music or something to play in the background. So I'll go over here and go down to audio. And I don't know what I want to do for this. I could try doing kids playing. I don't think that sounds quite right. This might actually work for his friends want him to come out and play. It's like kind of happy, playful music. I'm going to try that. I'm going to click on that. And then it comes down here. And I'm going to move it over. And we can have it fade in too. So I'll click up here to fade, and I'll do fade in. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh, we do need a transition. So I'm going to go here, and I'll do dissolve. So I think that's cute. Now let's look at our last slide, and I'll go to my notes. Will he ever be ready to come out and play? Read the book to find out. So this is where we're going to show the cover of the book, and I'll say that it's available on Amazon or locally at Werner Books in Erie. For the background, I think I might want it to be something kind of in nature. So I'm going to go over to Elements, and I'm going to scroll down to Videos. I'm going to search for forest. These are really pretty, but they're like very complicated. I think I want something very simple. And also brighter than these, I think. Some of these look kind of dark. This one's really pretty. Let's see. That's pretty cute. And it kind of looks like the entrance to Platy's den where he lives. Now I want to have my book cover come in. So I'm going to go to Uploads, and I have my cover right here. And let's animate it. We can see which one looks best. I think this one looks really cool. And now I'm thinking the background looks kind of busy though, with the busyness of the front of the book and then the busyness of the background. So I think I want the background to be simpler. So I'm going to go back to Elements. Let's see if there's anything simpler here. Ooh, this one's kind of neat. Let me delete that other one, and let's try this one. We can also right click and just do set video as background. If I double click into it, then I can make it bigger, and I think that'll make it a little less intense. Let's put a transition between these two. I'm going to do dissolve, and let's preview that. Oh, and actually I want it to wait a second before it comes in. And now we could just add the text to say that it's available now. So I'm just going to press the letter T on my keyboard to bring up some text. And I'm going to say available now. I'll use Montserrat for my font. Oh, I could make the text yellow maybe because it'll match the flowers. Or maybe orange. I might need some kind of effect on it to make it pop out a little better. I could do a drop shadow. And I'll make it blue so that it goes with the sky. Now I'm going to add some text that says where it's available. So I'm going to press the letter T on my keyboard again, and I'll say on Amazon. I think I could make this white. And then I'm going to copy this. So I'll just hold down Alt and drag. And at Werner Books in Erie, PA. because of course I want to support my local bookstore. I'll go to spacing and I'm just going to bring this up a bit. I think those flowers are making it a little busy, so I'm going to double click into this and I'm going to make the video even bigger, and then I'm going to bring it down so we just have a little bit of those flowers on the bottom there. That makes this text a lot easier to read. I just feel like this text isn't bright enough, so maybe I'll just make it white. Now I'm going to go down to my timeline because I want my text to come out one line at a time. So available now, I'll bring it over so you can see that this is where the book comes out. So I want the text to come out later, so it's going to come out like here. And then on Amazon will come next, so I'll bring that over. And then at Warner Books, I'll bring that over. So now these should all come out one after another. So I'll test it. Now I can just add some animations on these so that they're not just showing up out of nowhere. I think I like the burst one. That one's kind of fun. For on Amazon, I think I like this block one. And I'll do the Warner Books one with the block one as well. Except that the available now is still animating while these ones are going. So if I pull the timeline over like this, I can see the animation. So I'm going to pull it until the available now animation stops. So that's right here. So now I can take on Amazon and move it so it starts after that. And then at Warner Books, I'll move that further down. Now let's test this. I like that, but I do think it takes a while for this text to come up, so I'm going to move it over. That's better. And then I'll move this one over a little bit. And then let's move this one over. Okay, I like that. And then I can just pull all of these in because that's where the video is going to end. And I'm also going to make the sound fade out because I don't like it when the sound just abruptly stops in videos. So I'm going to do fade, and I'll just fade it out. Now I'm ready to add my voiceover. So I'm just going to go to Uploads, and I'll go to Record Yourself. Here I'm able to record a voiceover for each slide of my video. So I'm starting with slide number 1 here. If it's not on 1, you can just click over so it goes to 1. And I can also go to Settings, and I can pick if I want it to record from my default recording device on my computer, or the mic that I'm using now, or whichever one. And now I'll click record. Deep in the forest, in a cozy den, lives a platypus named Platy. So now I've recorded the voiceover for 1, and I can just go over, and now I'll do page 2. Platy likes to sit alone in his favorite chair and read his book by the fire. And if you don't like it, you can also do delete and just re-record it. So now I'll do the rest of the pages. So now I've recorded all of them, and you can see they all have this little icon down here. So I'm going to do save and exit. And then you'll see that you have a different little thingy here on each page, and that's the recording for that page, but it's actually a video. So it's not just the audio. But what you can do is for each page, you're just going to click on that video, and then you'll come up here to Audio Tools, and then you'll find Extract Audio, and you'll click Extract. So now it has extracted the audio and put it down here, and I can just grab the picture of me and I can just delete it now, and I can just do that for each page. Now I have all my voiceovers, and I do want to make sure that they all fit in here properly. So if I look at this one, I can actually see the sound waves and I can see where they are. So I can take the left edge and kind of pull it in and take the right edge and pull it in. So that way I'm cutting off just that empty part. And then I can move this wherever I want it. And then for the next one, I can pull this one in as well. And I want it to start on the next page. The words that I added here, they go all the way over to here, as you can see. So I'm going to want that slide to come all the way over there. So I'm just going to grab like this and I'm just going to pull it over. And then I can move this sound over and move my fire crackle, make it longer. And then my other voiceover, I'm going to bring it over here so it's under the third slide. And then my last voiceover, this yellow one, I'm just going to move it under the fourth slide here. And I'll just trim the left off like that. And if you look at the green one, there's actually a lot of empty space on the end here. So I'm going to pull that in. And we could probably make this shorter here too. Now there's one thing that I do want to change. I want him to stay for a little bit after he animates up here. So I'm just going to grab him and move his animation over. And then I'm going to duplicate him. So I'll just find him here and duplicate. And I'm going to bring him all the way over here. And this one is not going to be animated. So I'm going to go to animate and I'm going to delete path. And this one is just going to be him once he's up here. So I just have to put him in about the same position as how he ends up here. Okay, and that's pretty good. When you're all happy with your trailer, you can go up here to share and do download. And then you're going to do MP4 video. And you can do 1080p, that's fine. That's actually what I use for my YouTube videos. And then you're going to do all pages, so it has all of them selected here. I do think it's a good idea to connect your social media accounts because if you used music in your video, then you could get a copyright claim through YouTube because they have some automated systems that search for copyrighted music. So if you connect your social accounts, then it's going to register the music license that you got so that you don't get a copyright claim. So you can just click Connect Social Accounts and just click on the one you want to connect. And now it's connected. So now I can just click download. So I'm just going to save this to my downloads and then I can upload it to YouTube or whatever social media platform I want to upload it to. And if you want to see the final version of this book trailer, I uploaded it as a short to my YouTube channel. So you can check that out. I hope you liked this video and I hope it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And as always, you can email me at heather@heathercash.com. And if you're working on your own children's book, join my Creativity Club on Facebook, where we share our projects and support each other and help each other to reach our creative goals. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so I know to make more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.